And we are up to our fourth fight of the night, and it is two females going at it tonight. Our only female bout of the evening. Originally two were scheduled. One has made it to the card tonight as we are taking a look first at Rachael Lippert, fighting out of Fearless MMA and getting checked over right now as she prepares for her fight, coming into the cage with a record of 2 wins, 1 loss on her young amateur career. And again, Fearless MMA, we know their fighters usually come ready to fight and always put up good fights here during the chosen few. So Rachael Lippert, checking her out on the Carpet World Health tail of the tape. Her opponent, fighting out of Unified Martial Arts, is Courtney Labuy. Let's take a look at her now. All right, here comes Courtney Labuy, and Labuy coming in to the cage this evening, 2-0 on her amateur career. We are fighting at strawweight is the official title, and one of the things that we are going to get into a little bit later on this evening with both Chris and Gerald Mearshart. That's right, GM3 is going to be here, and it's all the new weight classes that are now in MMA. So it's in Wisconsin, in most states now, and will soon be across the nation in UFC and what have you. No more 6 divisions. There are all kinds of divisions, much like you see in the world of boxing, and we will talk about that a little bit later on tonight. Right now we are fighting at strawweight, which is 115 and under. Labuy and Lippert both making weight for tonight's fight and just about ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, our fourth bout of the evening is once again brought to you by the Tint Factory. Features 3 rounds in our women's amateur strawweight division. Introducing first and fighting out of the Harley-Davidson of Madison blue corner. She stands in at 5'4" tall, weighing in at 115 ready pounds. In 3 amateur bouts, she has 2 victories, representing Fearless Mixed Martial Arts and hailing from Janesville, Wisconsin, Rachael Lippert. Her opponent is standing across the cage and fighting out of the Coliseum Bar red corner. She stands in at 5'4" tall, weighing in at 115 and 1/2 pounds. Undefeated in her amateur career, 2 bouts, 2 victories, 2 knockouts. Representing Unified Martial Arts from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Courtney Labuy.
Labuy and Lippert just about set to go in our strawweight and only female fight of the night. And, you know, Chris, it's kind of funny. I had Josh on the Sports News a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about female fights. There's a different kind of energy. The crowd absolutely goes wild for female fights.
It's the crowd's most favorite fights aside from some main events that they're paying to see. But a lot of the reason is the fighters themselves. I give all the credit in women's MMA to the women that actually fight in the cage. They put out the best fights with the most energy that I've seen in the sport, and I've been with this sport for 20 years now. So you have to give all the credit to the fighters because they always put everything out there, Rich.
So that actually begs the question then, why? Why do you think that they put out that kind of effort?
The same reason that women are strong today in general society, because they're always coming in second place, because we really are a man's society, and they have to seem to work harder than everybody else, and they show it right here with these tough fights that they put on.
Absolutely, as you see Lippert now with her legs wrapped around the head.
Looking for an arm bar here, Rich.
Trying to end this fight early on. We've had a couple of early rounds. Actually, it was just one fight so far that was ended in the first round. That was Rodney Alexander's Chimera that got a fight done. But right now, it is Lippert looking to end the fight early here, fighting out of Fearless MMA.
And Lippert is a fighter who in both her victories went to decision, so we know she can go all the way with her fights. She's got the stamina to do it because she took those decision victories. Now, as far as Courtney goes, and you'd never tell it by her frame and her demeanor, 2 fights, 2 knockouts. So something different with both of these fighters. We'll see, especially on her back, how Courtney Labuy handles it, because she is obviously, even though it's earlier in her career, a knockout artist, yet now she's looking for a submission of her own here, and has got a triangle kind of locked in here, Rich. I don't see the arm across the neck, but she's still pulling down on the head. We're going to see if Lippert can handle it here.
The crowd starting to sense that maybe is something happening right here, but not yet, as she doesn't have it locked in quite yet.
Well, she just swept the arm across. She's doing a good job right now pulling down on the head.
And definite trouble here for Lippert, as Labuy now having the edge.
What Labuy is trying to do here is she was going to try and switch to an arm bar because of the way that Lippert had backed up. Now, this is an interesting position here because you have to also be careful with your feet. You cannot strike with your feet to either of their heads, so they have to be careful how they swing those back and forth, because even an accidental heel, the referee can stop the fight and take a point away or do anything like that. But these are, you normally don't see positions like this unless somebody's going for leg locks, which most leg locks are illegal in amateur mixed martial arts. So, and look, she's got the arm again. She's been trying to stretch out that arm of Labuy for a while now, and I just don't know if she's going to have the leverage to do it here.
And when she gives up the leverage, that arm comes free. She's taking shots to the midsection. So round 1 in the books. These ladies exerting a lot of energy here in round number 1. We'll see what they got left for our second round next here on 57 Sports. And so taking a look at the replays from round number 2, and a lot of action on the mat right there. It seemed like both girls had the advantage at one point or another.
And this was something that, you know, could have went a few different ways. There was an arm bar almost there. She was also like doing a banana split there with her legs too. So interesting positions both times with these fighters. I like, again, we talked about at the very beginning, women's mixed martial arts has come so far and the talent level is raised, but also just the way that both fighters put their whole hearts into it. Again, I see male fighters quit all the time in the cage. Yet to this day to see female fighters quit halfway through a fight.
That's true, yeah. That's a very true statement. And so both ladies fierce, both ready for the second round. And again, I think both exerted a lot of energy in that first round. We'll see how that'll shake out here in the second round. Good left hand from Rachael Lippert. In the stand position now, you see Labuy with a kick. Lippert responds.
Definite striking advantage for Lippert here. She's a little bit longer, and she throws with a little more power right down the center. That overhand right for Labuy is extremely sloppy. I don't love it, and even if she does land it, I don't know how much damage she's going to do with it. So striking advantage for sure for Lippert, and I think Lippert is probably more comfortable right here, especially because she can go straight down the middle on Labuy, or on Lippert right now. Or Labuy right now, I'm sorry.
Labuy, yeah. You know, this alliteration thing that we got going on here in this fight. But Labuy's punches very, very much just arm punches right now. Not a lot of steam on them. And you see the punches of Lippert definitely with a lot more power. Good kick, though, from Labuy. Catches the midsection of Lippert.
Keep an eye on the outside leg kick that Lippert is throwing to Labuy. It's landed now 3 times in this round, and if she keeps landing it as solid as she has been, shin to bone, which at least 2 of those 3 have, it's going to cause some damage moving into the third round.
There's that overhead right again from Labuy. Fails to do any damage there.
Checked it that time, which was actually good vision from Labuy. That means that it hurts. So those first 3 that landed have hurt, but it's good she's checking it now.
Action slowed down here a little bit from what we saw in round number 1. Again, it looked like both fighters gave a lot of energy in that first round, and both looking to catch their breath here maybe a little bit in the second round.
If she lands that outside leg kick again like she just did when Labuy has her leg planted, I also want you to pay attention to what happens to the knee. So not only are you landing stiffly on the thigh and really giving that Charlie horse feeling that ends up taking its toll. But the knee kind of explodes in almost like with an ACL type injury. So having your foot planted, that's what happens when you don't check the kick and lift your knee up, is you can really bust up the entire top half of your leg taking a kick when your plant foot is down like that.
Good exchange right there as Labuy was able to land a good right hand. That overhand right she keeps trying to land. Like you said, it's coming kind of sloppy, hasn't had a lot of steam, but she got one good one in. Great crowd here at the Monona Terrace tonight, waiting to explode on this women's match. A sellout, like you were saying, these January fights, a lot of people get hyped up for them.
Well, this is a great weekend for fights. There's no football. The NHL All-Star Game's going on. Basketball, I guess, is basketball, but this is a great weekend to have some fights. Great takedown from Labuy.
Right
I'm sorry,
at the
for
end,
Lippert
a
right
takedown
there.
for Lippert. Yep, as that ends the second round and might have just stolen the round and gone the way of Rachael Lippert. We're going the distance. Third round coming up next here on 57 Sports. Here's some of the action from round number 2, and where we saw round number 1 almost entirely on the mat. This was a round about striking. Chris, what are we looking at? Who had the edge?
We're looking at is the dominance of Lippert on the feet here, landing the harder shots and the bulk of the shots. I like the leg kicks. I like the straight shots. And then also right there securing the round at the end with the takedown. That was a much easier round to call than the first round. Obviously, Lippert's going to take that round 10-9. The first 9 is pretty questionable because the first round was pretty questionable because it really was a good back and forth there. So I could actually give the first round a draw, leave this round to Lippert. So I really think Labuy is going to have to do something different to end this fight in her advantage here.
And we'll see what her corner tells her to do as we go to the third round. Both ladies looking to strike once again early here in round number 3. We'll see if they take it back to the mat like they had it in round number 1. And it's once again Lippert trying to land those kicks, as that's what she's leading with.
And you can tell those leg kicks have taken their toll on Labuy because even the check is getting a little lazy. Instead of lifting the knee up to check, she's just backing the foot up and almost just putting her heel to her butt, which is the absolute wrong way to check a kick. So, and even right there, she didn't check it. So I would keep throwing that leg kick. It's definitely taking its toll on Labuy and allowing for a great striking advantage here.
Out of the two fighters here as we go into the third round, conditioning always a question as Labuy now gets a takedown. Lippert, though, in a pretty good guard position.
Caught in a guillotine, though. She had a nice takedown, but the longer fighter stretched her arm across and is looking to get a guillotine. Doesn't have great leverage on it. Now, at the moment, it looks a little bit better locked in here. Doesn't completely have it on the throat, though. You see, I don't know if she's got the other hand locked up yet or not. It looks like she has almost a palm to palm, but we'll see. Labuy doing a great job, at least staying out of the submission for now, at least from going out for now, doing a good job standing up, as you see that she's doing, which takes some of that leverage off the neck. And depending on how long she can do this, Lippert's arm is going to eventually wear out. You can only hold this for so long before, like we've talked about in fights before, Rich, where that lactic acid builds up and you just can't hold tight, and there it is.
Labuy is able to break it, and like you said, that standing up really took some of that leverage off. Labuy able to break it, but she's in trouble once again. Using her right hand now, and at least she's got that free as she lands some blows to the head of Lippert.
Well, and Lippert's doing a good job at least not allowing Labuy to do any damage, which is why Labuy did the smart thing. She knew she wasn't going to land much from the top because of how dangerous the hips of Lippert are and the legs looking to get into another submission. So good job from Labuy at least staying out of the trouble on the ground.
We're inside of a minute here. Both ladies looking a little winded. Who looks fresher to you?
Well, you know, they both look a little bit winded. Lippert still has a striking advantage, but Labuy is still coming forward. If I'm in her corner, I'm actually telling her to go for more takedowns. That first round is really a judgment call. We don't know how the judges had it. The second round is definitely not hers. So if I was
there
just
you go.
like this, if I was in her corner, I'd be like, just keep taking her down, throwing some damage. Taking her down, throwing some damage. What she's doing wrong here, though, is getting herself caught in this guillotine because that could negate the takedown like it probably negated the first takedown because you're basically in a submission and in trouble. So
and why
again,
is she getting caught like that? What is she doing? Is it a head
keeping
position?
her head stuck in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happens to wrestlers a lot. They get guillotined a lot when they're new to the sport. It's just something you have to learn to move your head when you're going through with that takedown.
Well, these ladies go the entire distance. 3 rounds in the book. Good action tonight from Lippert and Labuy. It's going to be up to our judges right now as we will take a look at some of the action here from round number 3. And they're one of the takedowns by Labuy, but like you said, she got caught right away and almost ended up getting into a submission.
And this round is the great debate in judging in MMA. I'm on the side of, I think, danger of being finished is going to give you more points than just a simple takedown. So I'm actually giving this round to Lippert for the submission attempts and the fact that she had at least one solid guillotine locked in for quite a while, actually most of the round advantage-wise. So I'm giving this fight to Lippert. We're going to see right here how it goes.
We are indeed some good action from this fight. The ladies go all 3 rounds as we're taking a look at more of this as Labuy doing a really good job of not ending up getting choked out in this fight. As you take a look at that overhand right, a takedown there by Labuy, and good stuff. All right, just about time for us to head on up to the cage. The official decision from Chris Garrity is coming up right now, and he gave me a little bit of a look. So we're getting an inside look at what the judges think. It might not be the decision that Chris thought we were going to have tonight. So, all right, strap it down. Here it comes. Our decision, Lippert and Labuy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to an official decision, one more round of applause for a great fight. After 3 rounds of women's strawweight action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have scored this bout the same, 29-28 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And fighting out of the red corner, Courtney Labuy.
Not what Chris thought was going to happen. It was
Courtney,
on the
great
judges.
job pulling away the unanimous decision victory. It was a very back and forth fight from the get-go. How confident were you in feeling you were going to take that decision?
After the fight was done, I felt maybe it would be closer to a split decision. I felt like Rachael had some heavy hands, and I feel like that showed. But I feel like my wrestling was probably what put me over.
Well, on the judges' scorecards, you had actually won both the first 2 rounds. So, with that in mind, going into the third, when you had taken her down and she had set in the guillotine, how close was she to finishing that?
The first time was really tight. I was like, oh no, I don't want this to happen. But she held on to it. But I was listening to my corner the whole time and trying to do what they said. Second time wasn't as close. It was a lot looser, so second time I wasn't as worried. But first time was like, danger zone.
Well, congratulations on another victory. You're undefeated 3-0. Folks, let's give her a big round of applause one more time. Courtney Labuy.
Wow, real interesting there. Like Chris said, she won that second round without wrestling, was all on her feet. And an interesting decision as you see Labuy, the winner. She was most in danger of going out, but the judges saw it differently than how Chris Garrity saw it. He doesn't get too many wrong. He got that one wrong tonight as Labuy remains undefeated.